woeful and embarrassing box, plus the Bowden Barrett show.
Let's burn through that.
I'm Dax.
And I'm Nick.
And welcome to the Coal Room.
Our weekly YouTube Rugby Union chat show. Did I get it right this time?
I think you did.
Yes.
Maybe. Don't know.
Okay, well...
we're as uncertain as the box now. But let's start.
Well, no, first word of congratulations. You're non-black.
Hey, I occasionally wear a different colour hoodie and all that type of stuff. I have to have black in my clothing. I'm actually wearing a black shirt under this.
And the black shoes.
Yeah, I have to have something black.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, maybe I'm slowly but surely turning into the All Black supporter I dreaded I'd be.
Oh, you wish.
Nah, definitely not. But speaking about All Blacks, let's start with the Australia-New Zealand game this weekend. And Australia had a good first half.
Yeah, very good.
They fronted up very nicely again. There were a few reffing inconsistencies, some neck rolls that the ref missed, a couple of high tackles. Australia put in a 40-minute performance.
No,
again.
I would argue they put in about a 25-minute performance.
Well, they were level with New Zealand going into the last, in 35 minutes in.
Yeah, but
And they
then it kind of went downhill.
Yeah, you could have put in for 35 minutes. Let's just say 35. Because they held on for 35 minutes.
Let's just go down the middle and say 30.
Potato. But the thing is, New Zealand off to a slow start again.
They
struggled.
Lots of handling errors.
Yeah, they struggled a little bit again with Australia's defensive form, but Bowden Barrett.
I mean, no words.
Bowden Barrett. I mean, the guy was under the cosh after the Hurricanes lost to the Crusaders in the semi-finals.
Yes.
There were talk about Mwanga coming in to take his place, or David McKenzie.
Oh, no.
But the guy just had an absolute masterclass of a really good attacking tactical far half. And he only got better when McKenzie came onto the field as well.
Exactly. It was a fantastic performance all round. In fact, I feel like without him, Australia could have actually performed a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's no words really to say other than wow.
Yeah, I mean, 4 tries on the night, 1 disallowed because of a squeak of a handling error that could have kind of gone neither here nor there. But I mean, to actually cross the whitewash himself 5 times, with 4 official tries to himself.
And then all the conversions associated with that.
Oh yeah, I mean, the guy was...
He was a points machine.
Yeah, and the New Zealand benefited from that go-forward ball. The guys were running off him, everything. I mean, the guy, that was a masterclass. Sorry, that's the best thing I can say about it.
Australia's line-out was a lot better this week. And
the scrums to an extent were also better.
They were. It was interesting to actually see the likes of, I want to say Ben Robinson, or was it Franks? Franks that was starting.
100th test.
100th test, yet to score a try. He holds the record for the most tests without a try.
Yeah.
Shame.
Poor guy. Actually, Bowden should have actually just waited and go, dude, come on, just like put it on
just run next to me, just run next to me.
Just pop it in.
So it was interesting to see them actually getting penalised at the scrum, going backwards in the scrum for a little bit, but you could definitely see that Australia was missing Folau at the back.
Yes. But although I think it was Hodge, I think his name was, didn't do too badly as a stand-in fullback. I mean the guy did come into the line with really good solidly on defence and stuff. Unfortunately for him, the Australians didn't have that much go forward. And look, the Australians did score 2 good tries, one from Will Genia and I can't remember who scored their first try. But I mean,
it's Australia, who cares?
But I mean, there were periods of play where Australia were really good and showing some continuity and all that type of stuff. Again, their defence just let them down. I think it's either player fatigue or they're going to panic mode and they kind of forget their structures. But New Zealand are the type of team who break or manage to somehow unlock defences.
Yeah.
And they are definitely, like Nick Mallet said yesterday after the Springbok Argentina game, he says New Zealand have won the Rugby Championship in 2 games.
Pretty much, yeah. Because they're going to get full complement of points from Australia. They got 10 points from Australia. They in all likelihood will get 10 points from Argentina, and then there's no ways we could catch up to that.
No, definitely not.
So just based on that, unless we thump New Zealand, which I mean we'll go into that just a little bit now, but New Zealand will just masterclass. It really just shows everyone who watches rugby how to play rugby.
Yeah, but I mean, the New Zealand have really, really big wings that didn't feature, didn't really feature, but Ben Smith, who's a fullback playing on the right wing for them, Damien McKenzie when he came on for Mulder also, both of those guys, the stepping and the ability to bring the ball back in, create space for other players is just phenomenal.
But even then, by having Mulder injured and then having him to be subbed, the backline needed to be reshuffled a bit because that wasn't the plan to sub him.
No.
And it was almost like there was no one out of position.
Yeah.
And contrast that to South Africa, I mean, we'll go into more detail just now, but where in the very early stages, Mpimpi got injured and we had to put Lionel Mapo on the wing, and that channel was so vulnerable.
Yeah, no one knew how to defend that, but we'll get more into that. Wayne Barnes had a good outing as a referee. I mean, he was very, very good. I think he managed the game very well.
Communicated very well as to why he made certain decisions and what constitutes penalties and what didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was probably the most 50-50 match I've seen in a long time.
But I think we're boring people with this.
Singing the praises of New Zealand for a South African chat show is not a good way to sell yourself.
So let's move on to the game in question.
Argentina versus South Africa.
That game was shocking.
Yeah, it was bad.
A brief little bit of our thoughts. Yeah.
Let's just talk about the fact that Argentina beat us at the breakdown. I will say this.
Scrums, breakdown, line out.
I will say this. They got away with lots of murder at the breakdown with Angus Gardner. There were a couple of second player coming in, winning the ball at the breakdown, which should have not been allowed. Angus, Ruck had been formed.
Yeah, I'm totally sure he watches this.
I know he doesn't, but someone share this if you know him. Whatever, don't care. But they did get away with a little bit at the breakdown. They broke our defense. I don't know how or why or how. And Argentina, this is not. Yeah. This is South Africa versus Argentina. We should, by the book, have beaten Argentina. Scrums went backwards, which is not good. Not good. Our lineouts were a little bit better this week.
No, they were.
I mean, they were a little bit better
the targets, everything. That was correct. A lot better.
I don't think we have actually got any form of plan B, C, or D at all. The guys just have one plan, they try and stick to it, and they falter.
Yeah, but that's been a situation for a long time. And you know what? I think our backline, certain players in the backline showed their vulnerability. Pollard seeming a bit nervous for some reason. It's almost like he's coming back from injury, but he wasn't injured, if that makes sense.
There's something hampering Pollard.
There's something bothering him.
There's something hampering Pollard, and I'm actually shocked. I'm going to actually say this, but I think in the Australia game we should actually start Willemse.
It's a possibility. You might see that happening. I think Rusty is very fed up.
I think we actually need something to spark in that Springbok backline. Even if we move Pollard one over to inside centre, we need to...
But why? Esterhuizen was one of the few players who actually had a decent game.
My problem with Esterhuizen is we use him too much as a bulldozer. We don't actually get him to bring in like an inside pass or anything. We don't use his passing ability at all. We use him as a battering ram. And Mallet said this as well. We have this set game style. Ram it up with 12, set it up, and then go with the 2-3 channel with the forwards. And it brings all the defensive structure inside, so that they can manage us. They just bring their defence a little bit inside. And the fact of the matter is, no one had the sight to actually say, you know what, it's not working. Let's get it out wide. Let's spread the ball a little bit. Rugby is a team sport. We can't just ram it up with 2-3 players and expect us to cross the whitewash every single bloody time.
And we also just kicked away possessions way too often. And it wasn't accurate kicking either. I mean, 1 or 2 good kicks, but other than that, it was just...
I mean, if you're going to kick for territory, kick for territory.
But
go for the...
It wasn't even going for touch, it was going up and unders and then giving possession back and then...
But that's the thing, if you want to play a territory game, put the ball behind them and put it into touch.
Yeah.
And then get them to get out of their half. That is tactical kicking. We're kicking 50-50 ball, and there were a few times that we did win the aerial contest, but it was too few and far between. A lot of players showed a lot of frailty. I mean, besides Esterhuizen being just used as a battering ram constantly, didn't feature in the game at all. He didn't show any breakdown prowess like he has before. Siya Kolisi, Francois Lowe were ineffective at the breakdown. Franco Mostert was severely dominated. Eben Etzebeth had an off day. Peter Steph du Toit, out of all the forwards, was the only one that had any gusto, spark, anything. And Wilco Lowe, when he came on, got that really big shove in.
And when Kitsov came on, at least the scrum stabilised.
Correct. I mean, Russia needs to think, okay, Beast and Malherbe had a huge game in the first one. Switch it around, have Kitsov and Lowe start, and then have Beast and Malherbe come on for impact players. Use it. I mean, Bongi Mbonambi had a poor outing because of his line-out throws. I mean, our line-outs were better this week. Towards the end, they were woeful. I think Bongi needs to actually get a start and get his confidence up.
I think everyone is just lacking confidence, and I think that comes down to what the issue is right now. It just seems like no one is confident in what they're doing, and maybe that is because Rusty's changing things up a bit in practice and stuff like that. The players aren't used to. I don't know. I'm only speculating here, but definitely things need to change for the next game, and we can only see what's going to happen from here. They're definitely getting tougher. We're going Australia, then New Zealand, and only then are we back home. But it seems like Rusty's request to go a bit earlier to adjust has been denied because the boys are coming back to South Africa for a week before going. So again, we're going to have this whole travel fatigue issue. But we'll have to wait and see what happens going forward.
I mean, if he can leave next Saturday and spend a week there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's better than nothing, but
it's still like a 20-hour flight.
Yeah, but like Rusty said, he did have ideas for experimenting prior to this game against Argentina. He says no, that's out of the window now. He has to play for the guys have to play to win now. There's no doubt about that. He's made that very, very clear, and he said he himself is a bit embarrassed on how things went. Also, he has made the SOS to Dwayne Vermeulen in Japan now to get him in. Because I think the most important thing is we get our forwards getting that confidence and that dominance again. And having Dwayne Vermeulen is definitely something that we need.
Yeah.
I would also like to see a bit of a change in the back three. Maybe have Francois Lowe as your impact player. Start Kolisi with Peter Steph du Toit and Dwayne Vermeulen against Australia. Get that dominance and then have Flo come in as backup. Maybe see Eben Etzebeth and Arkia Snyman actually be your lock pairing, and actually because they're dominating locks.
Yeah, I would be interested to see what happens, and the only thing you can do is wait and see.
That's what I think we should wait. I mean, Arkia Snyman also had a fairly good showing when he came on.
He always has a good showing, which is why he's a good lock.
I think we really need to see him come in. I mean, nothing against Francois Lowe, but he also just disappeared this match. But I think it's also because the Argentinians managed Marks and Francois Lowe.
Argentina played very well. We can't take that away from them. They played a fantastic game.
Carlos.
You mean the fly half?
Yeah, the fly half.
Nicolas Sanchez.
Sorry.
You're so racist. Just because he's Argentinian, his name is Carlos.
No.
But yes, he had a fantastic game. He was very effective with his passing and his kicking. So
had a good solo try himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he directed the Argentinians very well. Augustus Creevy, he also was a menace at the breakdown. Got the Argentinians a lot of the. He slowed the ball down a lot to get the Argentinians' defensive structure in place again. We can't take away from the Argentinians. No, we definitely can't. They had a really, really good game.
Exactly. But I think that's where we'll leave it this week. We bored them enough.
Yeah. So next week is a bye for all the Rugby Championship teams. So next week we'll probably just
talk shit.
We'll see who features in the.
We'll see what happens in this week's
Springboks news and stuff.
And we'll report on it. So reporting live from the couch.
Just give us some synopsis about how we're going to see the week ahead.
So like the video if you enjoy our ramblings. Subscribe if you haven't. Yes, I'm talking to you. I'm not going to see you. And if you want notifications when we upload a new video, then the bell icon is somewhere down here by Dax's knee. Otherwise, we'll see you next week sometime.
Have a good week and see you next week.
Cheers.
Bye.